Hi, welcome back to My Peace is Non-Negotiable with Marlon. And today we're going to dig into something that is near and dear to me. And the topic is, who would you be without your story? See, we all have a story. It's a collection of experiences, challenges, it could be victories, but it shapes how we see ourselves and the world. But have you ever paused, just took a moment to stop, to ask yourself, who would I be if I never told this story again? Who would I be without even knowing this story or talking about it? What if everything you believe about yourself, every fear, every limitation, every excuse was just a story? What if I told you the only thing standing between you and the life you want and the life you deserve is the story you keep telling yourself? Listen, you have two choices, only two. Number one, you can keep using your story as a reason to stay small. Trust me, I've done it before. Not anymore, but I've done it before. That's a whole nother episode. Or number two, you can use it to fuel yourself to become unstoppable. The question is, what will you choose? Think about it. We spend our lives collecting moments and stitching them together. We stitch them together into this narrative, into this huge story. A story that explains why we are the way we are, or even who we are. We hold on to it so tight because it gives us meaning. It gives us security. It gives us this belonging that we long for. But is it the truth? Or is it just a version of what you've chosen to believe? The fears, the reason why you can't or why it's too late. Is it the story you use because you feel like you're not enough? It all comes from this narrative that you've carried over the years. It's a bunch of crap. It's a story that is built on past experiences, past failures, and past pain. And too often, we hold on to our past as if it defines us. Imagine this. Just imagine this. Play along with me. You wake up tomorrow with no memory of your failures, no correct collection of the times you were told you were not good enough, no weight of past mistakes holding you back. But what happens is we let our pain become our identity. Our failures become our narrative and our struggles become our limit. But what if you just strip that all away? You can, you can do it. If you were to do that, you'd be free. You'd be free to dream without hesitation. Free to believe in yourself without reservation. Free to step into your greatness without waiting for permission because you don't need it. You do not need permission from anyone else. You just have to do it. Your story has shaped you, but it does not have to confine you. You are not just what happened to you. You are what you choose to become. Listen, it's easy to use our stories as a shield to protect ourselves from risk, failure, and disappointment. It's comfortable to believe that our past justifies our inaction, our poor attitude, or a reason to stay stuck. Your past does not have to define you. The hurt you've experienced does not have to become your identity unless you allow it to become that. The struggles you face do not have to be the reason you start fighting for the life you want to live. Our stories can empower us, but they can also imprison us. Let me repeat that. Our stories can empower us, but they can also imprison us. The pain of the past and the rejections might convince you or us that we are not enough. The memory of failure may whisper that trying again is totally pointless. The labels others have placed on you, you're too quiet, you're too loud, you're too much, you're not enough, might shape how we show up in the world. But here's the truth. Your story is not your identity. Yes, it has shaped you, but it does not define your potential. It does not dictate who you must be today. It does not dictate who you must be tomorrow or for the rest of your life. So once again, who would you be without that story? Would you still hesitate before following your dreams? Would you still shrink yourself to fit into places you've outgrown? Am I preaching to the choir? Because that's one for me. Would you still shrink into places in which you've outgrown? Would you tell yourself it's too late, it's too hard, it's too impossible? No. You know what you would do? You would rise. You step forward with confidence. You wouldn't give a damn about what others think of you. You'd be unbothered about what people say about you. You chase your dreams without hesitation because you wouldn't know how to be afraid. You be unstoppable. You be the person who doesn't second guess their worth. You be the person who walks into every room like they belong there. You be the person who wakes up every morning knowing they are capable of greatness, not because of what you've been through, but because of what you've chosen to become. Here's the truth. The version of you that wins, that succeeds, that dominates, they already exist. You don't need permission to become them. You don't need validation. You don't need to wait until you feel ready. You just need to make a decision. It's time for you to step into your greatness. It's time to become everything you were meant to be. Without your story, y'all, you wouldn't be a victim. You're not a failure, not a success. You are limitless. You have limitless potential. You are a success. You have limitless potential. You have limitless potential. Limitless potential. I keep repeating that because it excites me. There is no limit. The only limit is the one that you're putting on yourself. You can be free to be anything, anyone. The power of choosing your next chapter is on you. You hold on to these stories because they feel safe, because they're familiar. Even when they hurt you, it's familiar to you, but you are not required to keep retelling that same tale. You are not obligated to be the person your past says you must be. So today, I challenge you to rewrite your narrative. Drop the parts that no longer serve you. Release the belief that keeps you stuck. Step into the version of you that is bold and powerful. This is your life, and the pen is in your hand. This is your life, your story. And once again, that pen is in your hand. What are you going to write next? What's the next chapter? So I have a challenge for you. I want you to take a step back and ask yourself a few things. 1, what part of my story are holding me back? 2, if I wasn't tied to my past, what would I dare to do? 3, how can I start showing up as the version of myself that isn't bound by the old limitations? Just take a minute, think about it, write it down, go back and look at it, marinate on it. Because your story may have shaped you, but it's not own you. You are not a collection of past chapters. You are the author of what comes next. So once again, who would you be without this story? The answer is up to you. So let go of the limits, let go of the excuses, let go of the version of yourself that clings to the past, because the truth is your story does not define you, you define you. Be bold. And when your peace is non-negotiable, you will give up that story. Until next time, please subscribe to my YouTube channel so that we can continue to keep this no excuses movement and my peace is non-negotiable movement reverberating throughout the world. Thank you for listening. I really appreciate you. And you are so much more than your story. Don't let anybody else tell you something different.